In regards to hospitalisations, there are 677 people currently in hospital with the virus. Some 133 are in the intensive care units across the state, and 94 of those 133 are on a ventilator. In regards to tests and vaccine numbers, yesterday we saw 73,138 tests carried out. We also, through state-run clinics on Sunday, had 34,279 vaccines distributed through those hubs, and a total, by the time you add up our GPs, our pharmacists and others, for a Sunday extraordinary number of 81,000 vaccines delivered across the state. A few things to announce today. With vaccine supplies now being increasingly assured, and particularly with young Victorians, especially in that 12 to 16-year-old age group who only came on board to be eligible less than a month ago, and the extraordinary uptake of vaccine levels in that group, today we can just confirm that mRNA vaccines, Moderna and Pfizer, will be available to people of any age through our state-run vaccination centres, not just those under 60. So essentially now, as we push towards 70 and 80% double dose and beyond, it's time to throw open the doors of all of our clinics, more than 60 of them are across the state, to the mRNA vaccines, particularly Moderna and Pfizer, for all comers. This change, which is now in effect, has been made possible by the relative certainty that we now have for both Moderna and Pfizer, and the extraordinary number of young people who have come forward over the past 3.5 weeks. In fact, Victoria is well on the way to becoming one of the world's most vaccinated jurisdictions. As of yesterday, we were sitting at 86% of Victorians aged 16 and over had received their first dose. This includes 93% of people aged over 50 and more than 95% of people aged 70 and over. And indeed, that age group between 12 and 16, 64% of that group are now single-dosed, and an increasing number of them are in fact double-dosed. And just reflect on the fact that less than a month ago, that group became eligible. So I want to thank those young people and their families and carers for stepping forward in such an extraordinary rate of support for the vaccine program. So Victorians 60 and over can now book to receive Pfizer or Moderna at any one of Victoria's centres right across the state, more than 60 of them, and there is no reason not to. These are our processes of getting to 70 double dose, 80 double dose, and in fact pushing well beyond. That also means that when it comes to the walk-up programs for mRNA vaccines that we had in place last week, that we'll be making those essentially permanent from here on in as we push to that 70, 80 and beyond double dose. So you can now walk up to any one of our major vaccination centres for your highly effective mRNA vaccine, be it Moderna or Pfizer. And just to refresh the community's memory, that includes the Sandown Racecourse, the Bayside Centre in Frankston, the Barry's Road Melton vaccination site, the former Ford factory in Camberfield, the Royal Exhibition buildings, the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre, the Sunshine Hospital Vaccination Centre, the Plenty Ranges Arts and Convention Centre, La Trobe University Bundoora, the Eastland Shopping Centre, the Shepparton Showgrounds, the Traralgon Racecourse, and the Kia Review Military Barracks in Mildura. We can also announce that with Victoria preparing to open in time for summer based on our implementation of the National Plan for Reopening, we will also be launching today a new campaign to remind everyone that your vaccination is your ticket. The new vaccination campaign is to run on all platforms, TVs, radio, print, online, and it's all about capturing the sentiment that Victorians want to get back to the things that we love, the things that we aspire to again after 20 months of such hard work. Dining, sport, travel, work, but perhaps most importantly of all, reconnecting with family and friends and those that we love. As announced as part of the Victorian roadmap to deliver the National Plan, and in order to protect the community and our health system, we know that the safest way to do that is to apply those measures to Victorians who are vaccinated. So if you're not vaccinated, these freedoms won't apply in the same way as they will to those Victorians who are vaccinated. And more importantly, every unvaccinated Victorian, particularly those who do fall susceptible to COVID-19, they are far more likely to get seriously unwell, they are far more likely to require hospitalisation, and tragically, through the fatality figures that we are seeing, far more likely to lose their life to COVID-19. And that particularly applies if you are an older Victorian. So please, if you have yet to get vaccinated, come forward and look after yourself, look after your community, and do your bit to support our health system and get Victoria open safely and sustainably.